They called him the Golden Bachelor, America's symbol of hope, that love could still bloom after 70. Gerry Turner, silver hair, polished smile, soft-spoken voice. He was the man who had it all: a lifelong marriage, a tragic loss, and now a second chance at love broadcast to millions. The cameras adored him. The audience cried with him. He was grief, redemption, and romance, all wrapped into one perfect package. But perfection is a dangerous illusion. 3 months after the fairy tale wedding, the castle collapsed. The same media that crowned him the saint of second chances suddenly wanted his head on a platter. Headlines screamed, "The Golden Bachelor exposed." The man who promised eternal love was accused of deceit, manipulation, and something far darker than heartbreak. So, what really happened? Was Gerry Turner a man who lost his way in love, or a man who mastered the art of pretending? Tonight, we peel back the mask of loneliness, because behind every charming smile, there might just be a story no one wants to believe. For a moment, Gerry Turner was America's sweetheart, the man who had loved once, lost once, and found love again, all under the perfect golden sunset of reality television. His story was irresistible. A widower of 43 years, living proof that love never dies, just waits for another camera crew. ABC knew what they were doing. They painted Gerry as the man every woman over 60 secretly dreamed of: gentle, loyal, emotionally available, and conveniently photogenic. Every tear he shed, every trembling confession was edited to perfection. It wasn't just a love story, it was a marketing miracle. Millions believed it because they wanted to. They needed to believe that somewhere out there, love could still be pure, even when the wrinkles showed and the heart had broken more than once. Gerry became a cultural sedative, proof that time could heal, and maybe television could too. But behind every perfect narrative lies a producer's pen. The Golden Bachelor wasn't just about Gerry. It was about the fantasy of redemption, the promise that love could rewrite pain. And like every good fairy tale, it needed a hero, not a human. So they gave America a saint. They just forgot to check if the saint had horns. The mask started to slip. Not all at once, of course. It never does. At first, it was just a whisper, a quiet discomfort in the audience's gut. Something about Gerry's perfection felt rehearsed. Then the stories came out. The Hollywood Reporter dropped a bombshell. Gerry Turner, America's favorite widower, wasn't exactly who he said he was. The successful restaurant owner? That was true in 1985. Since then, he had worked installing hot tubs. Honest work, yes, but not the glamorous life he sold to millions. Then came Caroline, a woman who said Gerry had started dating her just weeks after his wife's death, the very wife's memory that made him famous. For 6 years, they lived together. She left her home, her job, her stability for him. And when she arrived, Gerry had rules. They would split the bills. She had to pay rent. And when she gained 10 pounds, he told her she couldn't come to his high school reunion. Suddenly, the Golden Bachelor didn't look so golden anymore. The fairy tale of griefs and redemption began to rot, and behind the charming smile was a man obsessed with control and image. The contradictions grew louder. On TV, Gerry swore he hadn't dated anyone for years. In reality, he had shared a home, a bed, and a life with someone else.
The cracks became impossible to hide. But instead of coming clean, he doubled down. He toured talk shows, smiled through interviews, and twisted words into half-truths. On Tamron Hall's show, he admitted, almost casually, that he had dated, but not anyone who rose to the level of a forever partner. Translation, he lied, but politely. Tamron smiled. The audience clapped weakly. It was television's favorite ritual, forgiveness without accountability, and Gerry knew exactly how to play it. He'd mastered the role of the victim, the misunderstood man, crushed by the media, still looking for love. The same charm that once won America now served as his defense. But every time he smiled, the audience could feel it. Something about that smile wasn't human anymore.
At first glance, Gerry and Theresa looked like the perfect ending. Two people who had waited a lifetime to find love again. He, the grieving widower, she, the gentle woman who still believed in romance after 60. It was beautiful. It was televised. It was fake. The final episode ended with a ring, a kiss, and tears. Millions of them. But inside those tears was something bitter, something unspoken. Because what Gerry loved most about Theresa wasn't her heart. It was her sentence, "I'm really good at making money." That line changed everything. In a single moment, the man who claimed to want a soulmate found something far more practical, a financial partner. It wasn't love at first sight, it was interest at first balance sheet. And so he proposed. The wedding was a media storm. Glossy magazine covers, morning shows, the dream of every PR department in Hollywood. But behind the lights, cracks spread quickly. Within 3 months, it was over. Theresa was left with a headline instead of a husband. She called it a betrayal. He called it life. Then came the darkest part. Theresa recalled one moment that still haunted her. A quiet walk by the lake. Gerry pointed to a shed in the distance and said, "That's where I'll hide your body after I chop you up." He laughed. She laughed too, the kind of laugh people give when they're not sure if it's still safe to breathe. What kind of man says that to the woman he just married? Maybe the kind who's forgotten where the performance ends. On television, Gerry was still the gentleman. Off-screen, he was something else. A reminder that charm without conscience is just manipulation with good lighting. And in that moment, the story of the Golden Bachelor stopped being about love. It became a mirror, a reflection of how easily people mistake control for devotion and money for meaning.
Maybe this was never about love at all. Maybe it was about something far more human: loneliness. Gerry's story, beneath the glitter and gossip, is not new. A man grows old, loses the woman who knew him best, and wakes up one morning realizing that silence has weight. That the empty side of the bed can echo louder than a scream. And in that silence, he does what so many of us do. He builds a new version of himself. A better one. A stronger one. One who doesn't cry when the cameras roll. One who turns grief into a storyline, pain into applause. Loneliness is a clever sculptor. It doesn't create monsters overnight. It shapes them slowly, with love, with need, with fear. Gerry didn't just want love. He wanted to be seen again, to matter, to prove that even after losing everything, he could still be desirable, still worth a headline. And isn't that what the world teaches us? That our worth is measured by who still looks at us, who still wants us, who still believes we are somebody. Gerry just took that lesson too seriously. He performed it perfectly. But the truth is, loneliness doesn't go away when you're loved for the wrong reasons. It multiplies. Because every smile becomes a transaction. Every I love you, a test. And every mirror, a reminder that the person inside it no longer exists. So maybe Gerry Turner wasn't the villain. Maybe he was just another man caught between emptiness and performance. A man trying to fill a silence that fame could never cure. And that's the part no one wants to admit. Behind every mask of charm, behind every flawless profile picture, behind every "I'm fine," there's someone terrified that if they stop pretending, no one will look at them again.
By now, it's clear. Gerry Turner wasn't the only one acting. He was just the most convenient character in someone else's script. Television, after all, has never cared about truth. It only cares about the version of truth that sells. ABC knew exactly what they were creating. Not a love story, but a spectacle. The lonely widower, the hopeful woman, the emotional audience ready to believe in miracles one more time. And behind every camera, a producer whispered, "That's perfect. Let's roll again." The Golden Bachelor was never about redemption. It was about ratings. And the moment Gerry cried, America tuned in. The moment he proposed, advertisers paid extra. When he fell, the headlines multiplied, and that too was part of the plan. The machine doesn't lose when the star collapses. It wins twice. First, by selling the dream, then by selling the downfall. Even now, while Gerry's reputation bleeds, the franchise thrives. Spin-offs, interviews, documentaries, all feeding the same cycle of rise and ruin. Because nothing fuels entertainment like sincerity turned sour. The truth is, everyone played their role perfectly. Gerry performed grief. Theresa performed hope. The producers performed empathy. And the audience, us, performed belief. That's the genius and the cruelty of modern storytelling. It gives us something to feel and someone to blame. It convinces us that we're watching real people, when in fact, we're watching reflections of what we want to believe about ourselves. So, who really won? Not Gerry, not Theresa, not even the fans. The winner was the illusion itself. The camera that can turn any pain into profit and any lie into light.